Chris Waddle.
Oh, you're kidding me. September.
Kyle Lafferty.
Are you joking me?
Is that right?
I know it's not right.
Anybody else?
Leash, was it?
Like, that is one of the most stupid questions.
Darius Vassell?
Seriously, you all need to just stay quiet. This is getting really annoying doing this quiz.
What is going on here?
Welcome along to the shoutiest segment on Irish radio. It's the scintillating, it's the stupefying, it's the splendido crappy quiz. Every Friday, Thursday this week, we pit three of Team Off the Ball up against one another in a no-holds-barred quiz of sporting factoids at the end of the week. Allow our YouTube commenters to welcome today's contestants. Our first contestant today was described as the real champ compared to Nathan's status as paper champ by YouTube viewer Philip Houlihan last week. He is the grittiest sports anorak and he's still undefeated in 2021. Give it up for Phil the Power Egan.
I like that.
You are the real champ.
No, I think you'll find I'm the reigning champ.
The interim champ, I think. Isn't that what this is?
Interim, correct.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely having that. Phil, undefeated. It is, unstoppable, really. Nathan has constantly complained about the football questions that you've been getting.
Let's see what questions he gets today. Phil is still in that sort of, I don't know what relationship you have early in the morning, the two of you, where he only gets questions about things he definitely knows about.
I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, because GEA has been shut down for so long, I've barely asked any GEA questions on this quiz for so long. Is that why you've had such a good run, Nathan, at this? Like, I mean, is that why maybe Adrian has fallen away in recent months?
That's the reason, Eoin.
These are just theories that go through my head. Our next contestant delivered the victory last week after getting a coffee delivered by his 2-year-old mid-quiz. What was in the coffee? Anti-doping officials are still investigating. But YouTube viewer Conor Malone said it best last week when he said, Nathan's coffee is like himself. Bitter, overheated, and imposes an unwarranted laxative effect on the person who has engaged. Give it up for the beast of Ballyhonus, Nathan Nate Dog Murphy.
Fair enough. I'll take it on the chin.
Oh, he's not coming out swinging just yet this morning. Nathan, give it time.
Can I just ask, Eoin, why are we on Thursday morning rather than Friday morning?
Because it's Good Friday. We don't have a show this Friday morning.
Okay. All right. I thought it was maybe
for religion, Nathan.
I thought it was maybe Adrian Barry's ego didn't like the fact that he wasn't on for the full 2 hours of every show. Wanted more Barry time.
Well, that might also be true, but listen,
you've
respect.
What about Holy? Do we not respect Holy Thursday? Do you not respect Holy Thursday?
Once this crappy quiz is done, then it's feet washing time. It is Holy Thursday time for sure. But the morning time, you can bulk up and meat and all that, and then let religion take hold after the crappy quiz this morning.
What's the story? You wash your feet, do you?
That's the tradition on Holy Thursday, isn't it? You go to Mass.
Yeah, I do remember going to Mass as a kid, and on Holy Thursday, they would bring people up from the congregation and wash their feet.
Yeah.
I think when I was an altar boy, I had to somehow be of an assistance, and it was, why? Fairness, not the worst thing that could happen to an altar boy.
Those things are normally founded in some sort of global plague that would have happened back in the day. So the religious brought in these ideas that one must wash one's feet. I presume it was just like people had rank feet, and they were like, let's bring in this bullshit that once a year we'll bring them forth and we'll wash your feet with cleanse you.
Well, no.
So it'd be like if somebody in the office had really bad BO, you're having a weekly shower day.
No, it was Jesus washed the disciples' feet, Adrian. Do you not know the story? I
know, but they always relate it back. You can't eat meat on a Friday. They're trying to get people to have a bit of a balanced diet. They weren't all crazy.
Yeah.
The nutritionists finally, we're back in the day where they Neffet. The nutritionists were like, finally a balanced diet.
You're right. That's it.
No meat on a Friday. We have won.
Our last contestant today was once again slandered by the YouTube commenters last week. Adam Johnson commented on last week's stream saying, Nathan's 2-year-old delivered more today than Adrian Barry has in a lifetime of crappy quizzes. Once again, our viewers neglect to remember 2019 and the time of the champ. Adrian, who's your daddy Barry?
It was a great run, all right. Yeah, look, that's life for me. I have to say, on the same note, because this quiz is a bit like every time Stephen Donnelly opens his mouth, you don't quite know what you're going to get in terms of what the lineup is going to be. I wasn't sure who was going to be up alongside, and so when I jumped on the Zoom link, I saw Nathan's front room, and I thought, okay, fair enough, and at least put in a make weight like Tommy or Gilroy or something like that. And then Stephen on sound said, we're just waiting on Phil. And I honest. I felt like jumping off the call straight away on. That's how dominant this guy is.
Yera is all we're hearing from Adrian this morning. As ever, the format is a classic crappy quiz with a series of questions on different themes, and then on to the slip and slide of trivia, which is the rapid fire round. You can podcast the crappy quiz on otbsports.com or on the OTB Sports app. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to click the thumbs up and leave a comment below. We read everything. Round 1, the boring questions round, never multiple choice. Question 1 for you, Phil. Oscar De La Hoya announced his comeback to the ring this week. But can you give me the name of 4 of the 5 boxers that have beaten him in his professional career? Not a football question for Phil this week.
I know, but he hates the boxing. If only he presented a boxing podcast. Wow.
Formerly presented. We don't do off the brawl anymore. Okay, so Mayweather beat him.
1.
Pacquiao beat him.
2.
Bernard Hopkins.
3. One more, Phil. I was going to ask you for just 3, and then Nathan's voice started speaking in my head, being like, easy question. So I turned it up to 4.
Felix Trinidad.
Correct. Boom. What an answer.
Good answer.
You're missing 1.
It escapes me now, and it's probably really obvious.
Shane Mosley was the other one.
Sugar Shane, yeah.
Nathan.
Sugar Shane.
Nathan, Sergio Aguero has announced he's leaving Manchester City at the end of the season. But can you name the club he has scored the most goals for City against? There are actually 2 possible answers to this question. He scored 15 goals against both of these clubs.
Arsenal?
Not Arsenal. Another London club, though, Chelsea, he scored 15 goals against, and Newcastle United. Adrian.
4 answer there, by the way.
Yeah.
4 answer from Premier League.
Golfing class between the two heavyweights.
I know you can't say that, but I'm happy to point it out.
It's a tough one.
That was like...
Well,
yeah.
A couple of years ago, did they beat Chelsea 6-0 or Arsenal 6-0?
Chelsea.
Oh, balls. I wouldn't mind to commentate on that game. That's the one I was thinking of. So it was Arsenal. I just assumed
so
it was
everybody
Arsenal.
knows Nathan knows a good bit about sport, just didn't know the answer to that question.
Well, Adrian, here, you give us your full repertoire now for whatever this question is.
I like to get straight to the answer.
We'll put aside 5 minutes.
Yeah, Aguero scored a hat-trick in that game in 2019. Adrian,
great goal.
Name the last Pro 12/14 champions not called Leinster.
It's a Welsh side. And I'm fairly certain it's the Scarlets.
Correct. Adrian Barry off the mark. 1-1-0.
I mean, I could have gone through a full spiel there of nonsense, but let's get straight to the answer. And when you know, no pissing about.
Round 2 is the Judas Iscariot round. As suggested by this week's producer, Joseph Conroy, this round will test your knowledge on the sporting betrayals of biblical proportions that we have seen in recent years. What better way to ring in Holy Thursday? Phil. In July 2009, Carlos Tevez walked up to Alex Ferguson and kissed him on the cheek. Despite the betrayal, Tevez wore the same shirt number at both City and Manchester United. Which number was it?
$32.
Correct. He's good.
Come on. If only they put a giant billboard up around the city of Tevez and his number.
Because I live in Manchester.
Well, you've seen it.
Nathan, can you tell me, of all the players who have played for both Inter and AC Milan in the 21st century, which player has made the most league appearances for the clubs? The answer is not Zlatan. So I've given you a hint.
Well, that's leading.
Sorry, say that again.
Who has made the most league appearances for both AC Milan and Inter Milan when you combine them this century? What are you thinking?
Come on, cycle. Give us the big picture here, Nathan.
There is no big picture. There is literally nothing in my head.
There's a clip of
all he's hearing is paper champ, paper champ, paper champ. Come on, Nathan. Give us an answer. Can he pull it out?
Hold on. Oof.
Come on.
Oh, the ultimate embarrassment. Not even an answer.
I'm
Not even talking through
I can't
this.
even think of another
this is
player
Mayo
who's played
style.
for both clubs in this century, which is not helping me at all.
Is this a pass? Is this a pass from Nathan Murphy?
Pirlo.
No, it's not Pirlo. He's up there though. Phil?
No, it's a tough one. It's definitely. I think it's an attacking player.
No, it's Clarence Seedorf.
Yeah,
Clarence Seedorf is always if in doubt, go with Clarence Seedorf.
Can I offer? Is that Nathan's worst ever response to a question?
I don't know, Nathan.
We got no answer, which is not unusual.
I get Pirlo.
We got. Well, I mean,
Where was Pirlo on the list?
And no usual spiel of like, well, 2005, of course. That
Give us the full list there.
I don't have the list in front of me. I went through it and researched it, and I don't have the list in front of me. I thought of them up, and Clarence Seedorf is definitely the most. There is a section on Wikipedia that have players that played for Inter, then AC Milan, and then another section for AC Milan, then Inter. And I looked at the ones that had three figures, and I thought of them together, and Clarence Seedorf is clearly the winner. There are two lads from the early 1900s. There's a Buffon, who is Gianluigi's great-granduncle, I think is the all-time leader, who played for both clubs. And then there was another fella, Miazza, maybe? I can't remember. I'm sure our Italian football friends will correct us in the YouTube comments. And then Seedorf. When it comes to the 21st century, he's clearly at the top. Adrian, can you name any of the teams Declan Rice played against for the Republic of Ireland in senior international football before, I
do know.
Be able to name all of them, really.
I didn't think you said that, Phil.
Just such a disappointment in Phil's eyes that Adrian might not be able to get this question correct.
I have one lingering answer in my mind that I can't get away from, and I'm probably just going to have to roll with it. I don't know why this is in my mind, but let's go with it anyway. Finland.
It's not Finland.
Turkey. France.
Yeah. And USA.
USA.
Those are the three. Turkey, France, USA. Round 3 is the rock bottom round. After Ireland hit rock bottom against Luxembourg last weekend, this round will bring us out of our collective negativity and help us realise that misery isn't just for now, it's forever. Question 3 for you, Phil. Ireland's draw with Liechtenstein has been remembered quite a bit this week. That trip in 1996 concluded in a draw. But how did Ireland get on against Liechtenstein in the home game of that campaign? I need the exact score.
5-0?
Oh, he's close. You hit the bar.
4-0.
4-0. Phil slips up. Nathan, there's been a lot of talk of Luxembourg's lowly FIFA rank this week, but can you tell me what Ireland's lowest FIFA rank ever was? And I will accept one number either side.
I will accept one number either. So, well, that's Jenner's song.
This is very much a case of these questions are not suiting you.
Well, 48?
No, you were a good bit off. 59 under Trapp. At the end of Trapattoni's era, they went all the way down to 59. Their lowest ever ranking.
That was a ridiculous question.
Adrian, who scored Ireland's goals in the 5-2 defeat to Cyprus in 2006?
Pretty sure that the answer to those questions are who scored Ireland's goals. So you're looking for
two names, please.
Two names.
It was a 5-2.
Stephen Ireland.
That's one. That's the obvious one. So who's the other one?
If that's the obvious one, then it's not the other obvious one.
Yeah, fair enough. I did give you a hint there. Yeah.
Strong hint.
Strong hint, yeah.
2006.
Going to need to push you for an answer here,
I
Adrian.
wonder, was it another Stephen?
That's why.
Let's just give 1 second now. Let's go with.
Stare into the middle distance.
Yeah.
I'll go with Stephen Elliott.
No, it's not Stephen Elliott.
Richard Dunn.
Richard
I
Dunn.
was actually thinking about Tricky Dunn, yeah. I mean, I had cycled through some names and he was one of the many I cycled through.
Suitably, really, it was a complete blank there in round 3, the rock bottom round. Nothing went your way. Phil, you're on 2, Adrian, you're on 1, Nathan, you're on 0 as we move on to round 4, which is the fun free magic number round. Contestants get 3 points for getting the number exactly right. If no one manages that, the nearest contestant who doesn't go bust gets 2 points and the second closest gets 1 point. I'm going to state that we can only accept the answer that's written on your paper, and I'm also going to have to ask for your pens once the music ends. So if you don't mind, give us the following number, which is based on the Easter theme of Rising from the Dead. The number of goals Barcelona trailed Paris Saint-Germain by after the first leg of their 2017 Champions League round of 16 clash, plus the number of points Europe trailed the United States by before the final day of play at the 2012 Ryder Cup, plus the number of points the New England Patriots trailed the Atlanta Falcons by before their comeback in Super Bowl 51, plus the number of points Westmeath were trailing Meath by at half-time before their comeback in the 2015 Leinster football semi-final. Your 30 seconds expire when Sinatra sings Bright Shiny Beads.
Was Super Bowl 51 the one just gone, is it?
No, neither of those two teams played in that. Barcelona, how many goals down were they against Paris Saint-Germain before the comeback? After the first leg. The number of points Europe trailed going into the final day of the Miracle at Medina. The number of points Patriots trailed Falcons by in that Super Bowl. And then Westmeath. What was the half-time deficit? Adrian?
25.
25. Nathan?
35.
35. Phil?
36.
I can tell you the answer is 41, which means Phil gets 2, Nathan gets 1, and Adrian gets nothing. Let's roll.
I went less than I thought just because I was like, I'm going to go bust if I got the American football totally wrong.
So the number of goals Barca trailed PSG by was 4.
Yeah.
Europe trailed the United States by 4 points.
4, had that, yeah.
Patriots trailed the Atlanta Falcons by 25 points.
That screwed me. What was the answer, Owen?
And then 41 was the answer. Westmeath trailed Meath by 8 points. Yeah.
8, had that, yeah.
Game we had live and off the ball, and Adrian Barry's finest day as a GA fan.
I had 2 of the 4 absolutely correct, and I had the goals 3 rather than 4. Just to point that out. The one thing.
All right. Well, I had 3. I had 3 of the 4 correct. I got the American football wrong, and I also then thought maybe the American football's too high. I'm going to go back down 1, which has screwed me over.
Crazy logic.
Right, we're on to the final. Our winner tonight will be decided in the round that separates the men from the boys, the Luxembourgs from the Republic of Ireland. It's an O-theme in particular, ridiculously easy rapid fire round. The score you get in this round will be added to your score in the previous round. There will be 40 seconds for everyone to answer from the same set of questions. So we're going to start with the person with the highest number of points, which is Phil, who's on 4. Then on to the person in second, which is currently a tie between Nathan and Adrian. But we tossed a coin before coming on air, and Nathan won that particular tie-break.
Nonsense.
Well done, Nathan.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
That should never be the case.
If you get a question correct, I'll ask you another question.
How many points am I on?
1. You're 3 behind Phil. So if Phil gets an early one incorrect here, Nathan, it's all on.
Good Fridays tomorrow.
Another pity point, of course, but...
Can Nathan pull off a Jesus and come back from the dead here? Phil Egan, are you ready?
He does have a Messiah.
This is supposed to be religiously class. This is not in keeping.
Phil, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yet another
if only there weren't the most stringent blasphemy laws in the world in this country.
Well, he said, to be fair, he did say, Jesus, to be fair. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
Phil, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just compose myself here. Your 40 seconds starts now. Name the only League of Ireland Premier Division team with a 100% record so far.
Ken Hearts.
Correct. Eden Park is in which New Zealand city?
Auckland.
Correct. What age is Harry Kane?
28.
No, 27. Which League of Ireland club did Seamus Coleman play for, Nathan?
Sligo Rovers.
Correct. Luxembourg's Gerson Rodriguez plays for what club?
Dini McCabe.
Name any South African of the teams to take part in the Rainbow Cup.
The Bulls.
Correct. Who is the manager of Brentford?
Oh, I can see his face.
Thomas Frank.
Come on.
Who's got more assists in this year's Premier League? Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes? Adrian.
Fernandes.
No, Kevin De Bruyne. And Nathan Murphy would have tied it had he got that one correct, but he didn't. He finishes on 3 points. Phil finishes on 5. Adrian on nothing. Phil Egan is the champion once again.
Thomas Frank.
Nathan was that close to pulling off a Jesus.
Phil Egan takes it away.
For some reason, Dean Smith came into my head,
Wow.
and then I couldn't get out of it.
You ruined it for the rest of us, Nathan, by taking half an hour or two.
That's an image you just want to get out of your head.
I had a chance. That's all the more sickening. Yeah, I should have got it. What was Adrian's question?
Adrian's question was about assists, De Bruyne and Fernandes. Phil Egan, what do you have to say for yourself after yet another win?
That was squeaky bum time now. And Harry Kane, jeez, he's younger than I thought.
Yeah, he certainly is. Well, congratulations, Phil. Commiserations, Nathan, and commiserations once again.
Well done, Phil.
Adrian, thanks a million for joining us on this Easter special of the Crappy Quiz. We will be back next week with a Masters special. So who'll be putting on the green jacket? Find out next week. See you then.